The universe is made of vibration. Every particle, every wave, every thought, and every spoken word, the universe is made of vibration. Every particle, every wave, every thought, and every spoken word carries a frequency. When you speak, you are not merely forming sounds. You are sending vibrations into the unseen fabric of existence. These vibrations ripple through the ethers, calling forth conditions that match their tone. This is the hidden law behind speech. Whatever you speak with feeling and conviction, you summon into form. The law of vibrational speech declares that the word is power, and the tongue is the wand of creation. When you speak wealth words, you are tuning your entire being to the frequency of abundance. When you speak words of lack, fear, or doubt, you are tuning yourself to poverty's vibration. Every day, countless people speak unconsciously, unaware that their words are living seeds. A person may say, "I never have enough," and that phrase becomes a command to the universe, a decree that must fulfill itself. Another might say, "I always find a way," and life rearranges itself to prove them right. The law of vibrational speech makes no judgment. It simply mirrors what you express. It obeys the tone and energy behind your words. That is why some people seem to live under a cloud of limitation. They continually affirm it without realizing they are doing so. Each complaint, each negative prediction, each fearful remark sends out a signal that shapes reality to match it. Words are energy clothed in sound. They pass through the air, but they also pass through the mind and body, imprinting themselves upon the subconscious. The subconscious does not argue or analyze. It accepts whatever it hears repeatedly, especially when charged with emotion. When you speak words of wealth, such as "I am prosperous," "Money flows to me easily," or "I am aligned with divine abundance," you are not merely affirming. You are programming your subconscious mind to attract experiences that confirm those words. The subconscious then communicates with the divine intelligence of the universe, and the unseen forces of supply begin to move. There is a reason sacred traditions speak of the word as the beginning of creation. In the ancient texts, the phrase, "in the beginning," was the word reveals a mystical truth. Creation responds to vibration. You are a miniature creator, and your words are your creative instruments. Every sentence you utter has a frequency, and every frequency calls forth a corresponding form. To speak carelessly is to create carelessly. To speak consciously is to create deliberately. When you become aware of the law of vibrational speech, you begin to guard your words as a spiritual treasure. You choose phrases that uplift, empower, and align you with divine law. It is not enough to speak positive words mechanically. The vibration must match the declaration. Empty words carry little power, but when spoken with faith, that deep, steady knowing that what you say is already true, they become magnetic. Imagine a tuning fork struck in a quiet room. It vibrates, and every object in resonance begins to hum in sympathy. So it is with your words. When your speech resonates with abundance, the universe hums in agreement. Opportunities, ideas, and channels of supply begin to vibrate toward you. The outer world reorganizes itself around the frequency you emit through your speech. You have spoken your present conditions into existence, consciously or unconsciously. The words you repeat are the seeds that grow into your experiences. If you say, "I can never get ahead," you plant a seed that bears fruit in delayed success. If you say, "Everything I touch prospers," you plant a seed that bears fruit in opportunities and advancement. The soil of the universe is perfectly fertile. It does not decide which seeds to grow. It grows whatever you plant through your words. This is why the wise are mindful of their speech, refusing to give voice to fear or limitation. They understand that the tongue holds the power of life and death, the life of prosperity, or the death of opportunity. The law of vibrational speech works beyond spoken language. It is the tone, the intent, and the belief behind the words that matter. A whisper of conviction carries more force than a shout of doubt. You can speak softly and move mountains if your vibration is aligned with faith. You can shout loudly and accomplish nothing if your vibration is steeped in fear to speak. Wealth Words Daily is to maintain your inner frequency at the level of prosperity. You begin to feel as though abundance is already yours, and in that feeling, you become a magnet to its physical expression. There is a sacred rhythm to the speech of those who live in alignment with this law. They do not rush their words. They speak deliberately, pausing between phrases as though planting each seed with care. They let their declarations sink deep into consciousness. I live in divine plenty. They breathe into it. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied. They feel its truth. I am surrounded by infinite supply. They let the vibration of these words echo within. In doing so, they become attuned to the rhythm of divine abundance itself. When you begin to use your words consciously, you will notice changes in your energy. The first change happens within you. A calm certainty replaces anxiety. You no longer speak from fear, but from assurance. You begin to feel that life supports you, that every need is met before you even ask. This inner state radiates outward. People respond differently to you. Circumstances begin to shift. Unexpected opportunities arrive. Money that was delayed suddenly appears. The flow that was blocked begins to move again. These are not coincidences. They are the natural outworking of the vibration you have been generating through your speech. The universe is a mirror that reflects your dominant tone. If your tone is gratitude and wealth, you will see wealth reflected in your experiences. If your tone is complaint and lack, you will see more of that mirrored back. The spoken word gives shape to this reflection. Each day, you are surrounded by invisible waves of possibility. Your words select which wave collapses into form. The moment you declare, I am prosperous, you direct energy toward that possibility, and it begins to take substance in your life. Every sound you make is an act of creation. The human voice is a sacred instrument. It carries the breath of spirit. When you use it to affirm abundance, you harmonize with divine supply. When you use it to affirm lack, you disrupt that harmony. But the beauty of this law is that it always responds immediately to change. The moment you begin to speak differently, you begin to vibrate differently, and your life starts to rearrange itself accordingly. You can rewrite your destiny one word at a time. To master the law of vibrational speech, you must develop awareness. Listen to your daily language. Notice the phrases you use without thought. Do they affirm abundance or deny it? Do they expand your faith or diminish it? Once you become conscious of your habitual words, you can begin to transform them. Replace I can't with I can. Replace I lack with I have. Replace it's hard with it's unfolding easily. Each substitution raises your vibration, shifts your frequency, and draws new conditions toward you. Speaking wealth words daily is like tuning an instrument each morning. You attune yourself to the key of prosperity so that your entire being plays in harmony with the universe's symphony of abundance. Over time, the old dissonant notes, the thoughts of fear, worry, and limitation, fade away. Your words become pure, strong, and radiant with conviction. You begin to speak from the center of power, and your life echoes the tone of your declarations. The law of vibrational speech is ancient, precise, and unfailing. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the thought and its form, the desire and its manifestation. When you understand it, you hold in your mouth the key to transformation. Every morning, you have the choice to speak words that open doors or close them. Each declaration sets energy in motion. Each phrase plants a new seed in the garden of creation. Human beings are creatures of habit, and one of the most potent habits we carry is the language we use to describe ourselves, our circumstances, and the world around us. From childhood, we are exposed to phrases, expressions, and ideas that shape our perception of reality, often without our conscious awareness. Phrases like, I can't do that. Money doesn't grow on trees, or I'll never be able to get ahead, are so commonly repeated that they embed themselves deeply into the subconscious mind. These words act as invisible chains, binding the individual to a life of limitation, lack, and struggle. They are not mere expressions of thought. They are declarations that set energetic patterns, and every time they are repeated, they reinforce the very conditions they describe. Breaking this curse of limiting language is essential for anyone who seeks to invite abundance and prosperity into their life. Limiting language functions much like a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you consistently articulate ideas of scarcity and inability, your mind begins to accept these declarations as truth. The subconscious does not differentiate between what is imagined and what is spoken. It records everything faithfully and acts upon it. Therefore, words of limitation, fear, and doubt instruct the subconscious to organize life around scarcity. Opportunities are missed, doors remain closed, and resources seem perpetually out of reach. Even when favorable circumstances appear, the persistent vibration of limiting language often prevents one from recognizing or fully utilizing them. It is as though the individual is moving through a fog of their own making, unable to see the full possibilities before them because the language they have spoken has created a barrier. Breaking free from this curse begins with awareness. One must observe the habitual words and phrases that populate daily speech. It is common for people to unconsciously reinforce their limitations through casual conversation. Phrases such as, "I'm not good enough," "I can't afford that," or "things never work out for me," may pass unchallenged. Yet each repetition strengthens the energetic pattern of lack. The first step toward liberation is to become conscious of these statements, to recognize the frequency of limitation embedded in them. Awareness itself carries power because it opens the possibility for change. Once the mind becomes aware of the negative patterns in speech, one can consciously choose to replace them with language that reflects abundance, capability, and potential. The next step is substitution. Replacing limiting phrases with empowering language does not merely change the way you sound. It rewires the subconscious mind. Statements such as, "I am fully capable of creating wealth," "Abundance flows to me in every area of life," and "I am worthy of prosperity" begin to take the place of old, restrictive patterns. These affirmations must be spoken with conviction, repeated consistently, and imbued with feeling. The emotional charge behind words amplifies their vibrational impact. When the subconscious hears these words with repeated certainty, it begins to reorient toward opportunities, resources, and situations that support growth rather than restriction. Limiting beliefs gradually dissolve, replaced by an inner framework that expects success and abundance as a natural outcome of life. Breaking the curse also requires attention to the quality of thought behind words. Words are the outward expression of inner consciousness. If the mind dwells in worry, fear, or doubt, no amount of verbal affirmation will hold lasting power. Thought and speech must be aligned. This means cultivating awareness not only of what is said, but also of what is thought. When thoughts and words harmonize toward positive outcomes, they create a powerful current that attracts circumstances in alignment with abundance. Conversely, when thoughts of scarcity persist while attempting to speak positively, the contradictory vibration weakens the effect of affirmations. Consistency between thought and speech is therefore critical in breaking the chains of limiting language. The influence of society and environment must also be acknowledged. From family, culture, and community, we absorb countless limiting beliefs that become part of our daily vocabulary. A child who hears repeated statements such as "money is hard to earn," or "only certain people succeed," may internalize these as absolute truths. Over time, these internalized truths govern behavior and limit potential. Breaking this inherited curse requires courage and persistence. It is not enough to simply speak wealth words. One must consciously detach from the inherited narratives of limitation, challenging, and replacing them with a personal vocabulary of empowerment. This is an act of self-liberation, a deliberate reclaiming of one's creative power through language. One of the most profound aspects of breaking the curse of limiting language is its effect on perception. Words do more than describe reality. They shape it. When you speak with limitations, you perceive a world constrained by those words. Opportunities are overlooked, solutions remain invisible, and obstacles appear insurmountable. By contrast, when you adopt empowering language, your perception shifts. You begin to notice doors that were previously hidden, resources that were previously overlooked, and ideas that were previously dismissed. Your entire sensory experience changes because your language has altered the lens through which you see the world. This transformation is not superficial, it is a deep realignment with the natural flow of abundance. Breaking the curse also requires patience and persistence. Limiting language has often been repeated for decades, and its patterns are deeply entrenched in the subconscious. The process of replacing old words and patterns with new, empowering language takes time, attention, and daily practice. Daily repetition of wealth words, spoken with feeling and certainty, gradually wears away the old patterns. The subconscious begins to accept the new reality as natural and inevitable. Over time, the individual becomes less reactive to the old fear-based language, and the mental and emotional energy that once fed limitation is redirected toward creation and expansion. Another critical element in breaking the curse is the understanding that language is not just personal, it carries a universal resonance. Words spoken into the world reverberate beyond the individual consciousness, influencing the vibrational field around them. Limiting language affects not only the speaker, but also the energy of those they interact with, subtly reinforcing collective scarcity patterns. By consciously choosing words of empowerment, the individual contributes to a higher vibration, not only in their life, but also in the broader energetic field. This is why the practice of speaking wealth words daily is both a personal and spiritual discipline, as it aligns individual expression with the universal principle of abundance. Breaking the curse of limiting language is also about reclaiming personal authority. It is a recognition that no external circumstance, authority, or social expectation has the power to define your reality unless you allow it. Every word spoken is an act of creation, a declaration that either affirms limitation or invites abundance. By taking deliberate control of speech, the individual asserts sovereignty over their life. The old, limiting language that once controlled thought, emotion, and behavior loses its grip. In its place arises a conscious, intentional vocabulary that serves the highest good, attracts wealth, and supports the manifestation of all desires aligned with prosperity. In essence, breaking the curse of limiting language is a profound act of transformation. It is the dismantling of invisible chains that have held one in a state of scarcity, the reprogramming of the subconscious to recognize opportunity, and the alignment of thought, word, and energy with the law of abundance. By observing, substituting, aligning, and consistently practicing empowering language, one gradually dissolves old patterns and invites a new reality where wealth, success, and freedom are natural expressions of life. The individual who embraces this discipline awakens to the realization that words are not idle sounds, but living forces capable of shaping a life of endless possibility, and that the careful, conscious use of language is the key to opening the doors to abundance. Words are not just mere symbols strung together to convey meaning. They are living forces carrying the vibration of thought into the unseen realms where creation begins. When spoken with intention, words become instruments of alchemy, transforming invisible potential into tangible reality. The practice of daily declarations is a sacred method of directing the mind, heart, and spirit toward the manifestation of wealth, abundance, and success. It is the conscious alignment of speech with desire, and through repetition, it converts mere ideas into actual experiences. The alchemy of daily declarations lies not simply in the repetition of words, but in the energetic transformation that occurs within the person speaking them, as well as the environment around them. Every time a declaration is spoken, it releases energy into the subconscious mind, the fertile soil of creation. The subconscious does not differentiate between imagined or spoken words and physical reality. It accepts all inputs as directives to be manifested. When a person repeatedly declares, "I am a magnet for wealth," or "abundance flows to me effortlessly," the subconscious begins to arrange thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in alignment with those statements. The repeated focus on these positive statements generates a vibrational field that draws circumstances, people, and opportunities that match the frequency of the words being spoken. Over time, this daily practice rewires mental patterns, replacing fear, doubt, and limitation with confidence, expectation, and receptivity. The power of daily declarations is magnified by emotion. Words alone, if spoken mechanically or without conviction, carry little transformative power. When words are spoken with feeling, infused with faith, and visualized as already true, they carry a potent energy that influences both the internal state and the external reality. This emotional charge is what gives declarations their alchemical quality. It is not enough to merely repeat phrases. They must be felt deeply, as if the reality they describe has already manifested. In this way, the act of speaking daily declarations becomes an immersive practice, aligning mind, body, and spirit with the truth of abundance. Repetition is another critical element in this alchemy. The human mind responds to consistent signals over time, gradually accepting them as reality. Daily declarations act like drops of water on stone. Repeated often enough, they carve a path through even the hardest obstacles of doubt and skepticism. The process of repeating words consistently ingrains new patterns into the subconscious, replacing old beliefs of lack and limitation with habits of thought and speech that are fertile for wealth. It is the slow, steady accumulation of vibrational momentum that produces profound results, turning intention into manifestation. The practice of daily declarations also enhances clarity and focus. In a world of constant distraction, the mind often drifts between fears, worries, and conflicting desires. By committing to daily declarations, one is deliberately choosing to focus attention on a specific vision of abundance. This focused energy acts as a beacon, attracting circumstances that match the intended outcome. Each declaration becomes a point of light, illuminating the path toward wealth and dissolving confusion, hesitation, and indecision. The mind becomes organized around the pursuit of prosperity, and the energy of intention gains strength with each repetition. Furthermore, daily declarations serve to align the conscious and subconscious mind. Many people experience internal conflict. The conscious mind may desire wealth, yet the subconscious holds beliefs of unworthiness, fear, or scarcity. When spoken daily, empowering declarations act as bridges, gradually convincing the subconscious of the truth of abundance. The subconscious is patient and observant. It records every word and every feeling behind it. As declarations are repeated faithfully, the subconscious begins to harmonize with the conscious intent, aligning thought, emotion, and energy toward the manifestation of wealth. This alignment is essential for effortless attraction and the smooth flow of abundance into life. The alchemy of daily declarations also extends beyond the personal sphere. Spoken words create vibrations that affect the environment and the collective energy around a person. When declarations of wealth and abundance are spoken aloud, they raise the vibrational tone of the space, attracting circumstances, individuals, and opportunities that resonate with prosperity. Words act as magnets, and the vibrations they emit travel outward, influencing the unseen currents of the universe. This is why people who consistently use daily declarations often experience synchronicities, unexpected windfalls, and opportunities that seem almost miraculous. It is the natural consequence of aligning personal vibration with the frequency of abundance. One of the most profound aspects of this alchemy is its ability to transform not just external circumstances, but the inner state of being. Repeated daily declarations cultivate a mindset of expectation and trust. The individual begins to operate from a place of assurance rather than fear, from confidence rather than doubt, from abundance rather than lack. This internal transformation is the true essence of alchemy, the transmutation of consciousness. External wealth and prosperity are reflections of this inner state. By changing the inner dialogue and maintaining a consistent practice of affirmations, one transforms the very core of their being, making them a living vessel for the flow of abundance. Daily declarations also teach the principle of creative responsibility. By consciously choosing words that reflect wealth, one acknowledges the power inherent in speech and the role it plays in shaping reality. The alchemy of words is not magic in the ordinary sense. It is the deliberate exercise of a universal law. Individuals who engage in daily declarations accept responsibility for the creation of their circumstances, recognizing that thought and speech are tools of manifestation. This conscious use of language fosters empowerment, self-trust, and an unwavering belief in the ability to attract wealth through alignment with divine law. Another key dimension of the alchemy of daily declarations is the cultivation of patience and persistence. Manifestation is rarely instantaneous. The unseen currents of the universe must adjust to the new vibration being broadcast. Daily declarations maintain the momentum of intention, keeping the mind and energy aligned even when tangible results are not yet visible. This consistent practice demonstrates faith in the unseen, reinforcing the principle that the universe responds to steady, persistent vibration rather than sporadic or hesitant effort. The repeated daily focus strengthens the resolve, deepens belief, and ensures that the energy of abundance continues to flow toward the individual. Visualization enhances the potency of daily declarations. Words combined with mental imagery create a multi-layered vibrational effect. When speaking, one may picture the experience of wealth, the feeling of financial freedom, the satisfaction of goals achieved, or the joy of giving and receiving. This combination of speech, feeling, and imagery multiplies the energetic impact, transforming abstract desires into living, vibrating realities. The mind begins to perceive abundance not as a distant possibility, but as an immediate and natural part of existence. Each declaration becomes a ritual of manifestation, a deliberate act of creative alchemy that blends thought, word, and emotion into a powerful force for change. Daily declarations also have a cumulative effect over time. Each repetition strengthens the neural pathways associated with abundance, creating a mental and emotional environment conducive to wealth. Old fears and doubts gradually lose their grip as new patterns take root. The individual becomes increasingly confident, resilient, and attuned to opportunities that align with their declared intentions. What once seemed improbable becomes ordinary, and the energy of expectation and trust transforms life into a continual unfolding of prosperity. The alchemy of daily declarations, therefore, is a sacred and practical method for transforming life. It is the conscious use of words as tools of creation, the alignment of emotion and thought with intention, and the steady cultivation of a mindset attuned to abundance. By speaking daily declarations, one not only shapes circumstances, but also reshapes the inner landscape, creating a fertile field for the manifestation of wealth, opportunities, and success. Each day becomes an exercise in deliberate creation, a commitment to living in harmony with the universal law that responds to vibration, and an ongoing practice of converting desire into reality through the alchemy of words within the infinite realm of consciousness. Words carry power far beyond their ordinary meaning. Some words are ordinary, mere labels for objects, actions, or emotions. Others, however, are imbued with vibrational codes that act as keys to the unseen forces of the universe. These are the hidden wealth words, phrases, and declarations that align the speaker with abundance, prosperity, and the natural flow of divine supply. They are not mere affirmations. They are living instruments of creation, carefully tuned to attract the energies that manifest material and spiritual wealth. When spoken daily with intention, understanding, and feeling, these words open channels that were previously hidden, allowing money, opportunities, and blessings to flow freely into one's life. The hidden wealth words are subtle yet profound in their effect. They do not command, struggle, or beg. They simply declare alignment with the universal law of supply, resonating at a frequency that draws resources effortlessly. Unlike common affirmations that may be repeated without true understanding, hidden wealth words carry both vibrational potency and psychological depth. When uttered, they not only speak to the subconscious mind, but also reach into the higher intelligence of the universe, signaling readiness to receive and the expectation of abundance. Words such as, "I am a magnet for divine supply," "Every effort I make returns multiplied," and "I am in perfect harmony with infinite riches" are examples of this principle in action. Each phrase contains a hidden code, a vibration designed to open pathways that ordinary speech cannot touch. The power of these words lies in their alignment with truth and faith. The universe responds to authenticity, and the hidden wealth words work because they reflect a state of being. Rather than a mere desire, when one speaks these words, they are not trying to force results or control outcomes. Instead, they are affirming the natural law of abundance, recognizing that wealth is already present and merely flowing toward them in divine timing. This subtle distinction is critical. The hidden wealth words are not declarations of lack or effort. They are statements of alignment, trust, and readiness. The energy behind them transforms the speaker's consciousness, tuning it to the frequency of prosperity. One of the most profound effects of using hidden wealth words is their ability to bypass the limitations of conscious doubt. The subconscious mind often holds beliefs that contradict conscious desires, creating friction that obstructs the flow of abundance. Words repeated mechanically, without understanding or emotional resonance, may fail to penetrate these deeper layers. Hidden wealth words, by contrast, are carefully crafted to resonate with both conscious and subconscious levels. When spoken with belief and feeling, they impress upon the subconscious that abundance is not only possible, but inevitable. Over time, the subconscious begins to accept this truth, reorganizing mental patterns, habits, and perceptions to align with the reality of wealth. The timing and consistency of using hidden wealth words are also essential. The daily repetition of these words embeds them deeply into consciousness, creating a continuous vibration of abundance. Morning rituals, evening reflections, or even moments throughout the day when the mind is calm and focused are ideal opportunities to speak these words. Each repetition reinforces the mental and energetic patterns necessary for prosperity, gradually dissolving old limitations and reprogramming the mind for success. The cumulative effect is remarkable. The individual begins to think, feel, and act from a place of abundance, and circumstances in the physical world begin to reflect this inner state. The hidden wealth words also cultivate a profound sense of expectancy and certainty. When spoken with faith, they instill the belief that resources are always available, that opportunities are continually emerging, and that nothing is truly lacking. This sense of certainty is a powerful magnet for wealth because the universe responds not to doubt or fear, but to confident vibration. By internalizing these words, the individual moves from a state of striving and effort to a state of alignment and attraction. Life begins to respond as if answering an unspoken question, providing exactly what is needed at precisely the right time. Moreover, hidden wealth words are most effective when paired with visualization and emotion. Speaking a phrase like, "I am a magnet for divine supply," while visualizing money, opportunities, or abundance flowing naturally into life, magnifies its vibrational impact. Feeling gratitude, joy, and relief as the words are spoken further intensifies the energy, creating a multi-dimensional effect that touches conscious awareness, subconscious belief, and universal intelligence simultaneously. The words, emotion, and vision form a triad of power, working together to open pathways that previously seemed blocked or invisible. Another key dimension of the hidden wealth words is their ability to dissolve resistance. Resistance often manifests as fear, worry, or self-sabotage, patterns that obstruct the natural flow of abundance. By consistently speaking words that affirm wealth, alignment, and readiness, one gradually softens these internal blocks. The subconscious, recognizing the repeated signal, begins to release old patterns of limitation. Opportunities that were previously overlooked or rejected are now noticed and embraced. Solutions to financial challenges appear, often in unexpected ways because the hidden wealth words have cleared energetic and mental channels for manifestation. The hidden wealth words are also a reflection of spiritual understanding. They recognize that true wealth is not merely material. It encompasses mental clarity, emotional well-being, relationships, and alignment with life's purpose. When spoken with this holistic understanding, these words attract not only financial abundance, but also the wisdom, courage, and opportunities necessary to sustain and expand it. They act as a bridge between the spiritual and material realms, connecting inner alignment with outward manifestation. The individual using these words daily develops a sense of confidence and trust in life, knowing that all forms of wealth are drawn to them as naturally as a river flows to the sea. One of the remarkable aspects of hidden wealth words is their adaptability. They can be personalized to reflect specific goals, values, or circumstances, yet their underlying vibrational principle remains the same. Whether spoken aloud or silently, in meditation or in action, these words maintain their potency. They do not rely on circumstance, timing, or external validation. Their power resides in the consistency, clarity, and feeling behind the declaration. In this sense, the hidden wealth words are a universal tool, available to anyone who seeks to align with the infinite supply of the universe and willing to commit to daily practice. The practice of speaking hidden wealth words daily also cultivates discipline and mindfulness. In a world of distraction, inconsistency, and scattered attention, the act of setting aside time to consciously declare abundance creates a habit of focused intention. This repeated focus gradually rewires perception, making the individual more aware of opportunities, more confident in decision-making, and more receptive to synchronicities. The simple act of speaking the right words at the right frequency becomes a powerful ritual, reinforcing the belief that wealth is not something to chase, but something to be aligned with, naturally and effortlessly. In essence, hidden wealth words are more than affirmations. They are codes, vibrations, and instruments of creation that unlock the channels of abundance. They work at the subconscious, conscious, and universal levels simultaneously, transforming thought patterns, dissolving resistance, and magnetizing opportunities and resources. When spoken daily with faith, understanding, and feeling, they align the speaker with the law of prosperity and the natural flow of divine supply, creating a life where wealth is not a struggle, but a natural, effortless expression of alignment with the unseen currents of the universe. Gratitude is one of the most powerful and transformative forces in the universe. It is a vibration that resonates with abundance, calling forth more to be thankful for. While many people view gratitude as a passive acknowledgement of what they already have, it is in reality an active magnetic force that multiplies blessings, opens channels of prosperity, and transforms ordinary experiences into opportunities for wealth. The principle of gratitude as the magnet of multiplication rests on the understanding that the universe responds not to lack or complaint, but to recognition and appreciation. When you speak words of gratitude, feel it deeply in your heart, and express it consciously, you are engaging a natural law that expands the good in your life exponentially. gratitude begins as a conscious act of recognition. The mind tends to focus on what is missing, on what has not yet manifested. And on perceived scarcity, this habit of focus on lack creates a vibrational field that mirrors limitation. However, by shifting attention to what is already present, the blessings, resources, skills, and opportunities, you change the energy you are transmitting. Words of gratitude are more than polite acknowledgments. They are declarations of alignment with abundance, saying, "I am thankful for the income I have," or "I am grateful for the opportunities that flow to me daily." Sets in motion a vibrational pattern that attracts more income, more opportunities, and more experiences to be grateful for. The magnetism of gratitude is amplified by emotion. Feeling the depth of appreciation behind each statement infuses it with power. When gratitude is expressed with genuine emotion, it transforms the speaker's inner energy. This inner transformation is magnetic, drawing circumstances and resources that resonate with the feeling being projected. For instance, expressing heartfelt thanks for even the smallest financial windfall, the smallest opportunity, or the smallest achievement signals to the subconscious and the universal intelligence that you are receptive and in alignment. This receptivity attracts further abundance, often in unexpected forms, because the universe responds to the energy of acknowledgement rather than to mere words. Gratitude also has a multiplying effect because it shifts perception from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you are grateful for, your mind begins to notice more things to appreciate. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more you express gratitude, the more reasons you discover to be grateful. Each new blessing becomes evidence of the universality of abundance, reinforcing belief and expectation. This cycle of recognition and attraction transforms ordinary experiences into a continuous flow of prosperity. Even challenges, when approached with a mindset of gratitude, become opportunities for growth, learning, and expansion. Daily practice of gratitude amplifies its power. Consistency in expressing appreciation, through words, journaling, or meditation, ingrains a pattern of recognition and receptivity in both the conscious and subconscious mind. Each day, listing or verbally, affirming what you are grateful for raises your vibrational frequency, aligns your thoughts with abundance, and opens channels for new blessings. This daily alignment creates a steady current of prosperity, allowing money, opportunities, and resources to flow naturally rather than being forced through struggle or worry. The universe responds to the consistency of your vibration, and repeated gratitude maintains an uninterrupted signal of openness to abundance. Gratitude also has a profound effect on the subconscious mind, which is the engine behind manifestation. The subconscious does not differentiate between what is present and what is imagined or spoken with feeling. By repeatedly expressing gratitude, you impress upon the subconscious that abundance is already here and available. This belief begins to restructure mental patterns, creating an expectation that wealth, opportunity, and success are natural and inevitable. As the subconscious aligns with this new reality, behaviors, decisions, and perceptions change accordingly, making the individual more likely to act in ways that attract and sustain prosperity. Another significant aspect of gratitude is its ability to dissolve resistance and negative energy. Resistance often manifests as fear, doubt, worry, or envy, emotions that block the flow of abundance. By consciously expressing gratitude, the vibrational field of lack is replaced with a frequency of appreciation, acceptance, and trust. This shift transforms the energetic landscape, allowing wealth to move more freely into life. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable appear more manageable, and solutions that were previously hidden become visible. Gratitude acts as a clearing agent, purifying mental and emotional channels so that opportunities can flow without obstruction. Gratitude is also intimately connected with the principle of reciprocity. The more you express appreciation for what you receive, the more you signal to the universe that you are ready, for additional blessings. In essence, gratitude communicates readiness to receive, creating a vibrational opening for multiplicative returns. Every act of recognition, no matter how small, becomes a magnet for greater abundance. It is not simply a matter of asking or desiring. It is a matter of demonstrating awareness, acknowledgement, and acceptance of the good already present, which naturally attracts more of the same. The impact of gratitude extends beyond material wealth. True abundance encompasses emotional, relational, and spiritual dimensions as well. Expressing gratitude enhances mental clarity, strengthens relationships, and fosters emotional resilience. It cultivates a mindset of abundance that influences every decision and action, creating a life of holistic prosperity. The magnetism of gratitude works at all levels, ensuring that the benefits of appreciation are not limited to financial gain, but permeate all aspects of existence. In practical application, gratitude can be integrated into daily routines in numerous ways. Verbal affirmations, journaling, meditation, and even mental acknowledgement during routine activities serve to embed the frequency of appreciation deeply within consciousness. For example, taking a few moments each morning to speak words such as "I am grateful for the financial opportunities that surround me," or "I give thanks for the wealth that flows into my life," establishes the tone for the entire day. Gratitude can also be expressed during evening reflection, reviewing the blessings, successes, and lessons of the day. This continuous reinforcement ensures that abundance remains the dominant vibrational frequency in both conscious and subconscious mind. The practice of gratitude is not dependent on external circumstances. It is not necessary to wait for wealth or success to express appreciation. Gratitude must begin in the present moment, for the blessings already visible, as well as for those yet to manifest. This perspective shifts the individual from a state of neediness or lack to one of fullness and expectation. The act of being thankful for what exists creates a fertile ground for additional wealth to grow. The mind that is consistently immersed in gratitude naturally attracts opportunities, resources, and solutions, because it aligns with the law of cause and effect in which energy flows toward matching frequencies. Gratitude also enhances trust in the universe. By acknowledging and appreciating what has already been provided, the individual cultivates a sense of faith that the universe will continue to supply. This trust eliminates anxiety, fear, and second-guessing, allowing the energy of expectation to remain focused and strong. In turn, this clear, confident vibration draws further abundance, reinforcing the understanding that prosperity is not a matter of struggle, but a natural consequence of alignment with universal law. The magnetism of gratitude is cumulative. The more consistently it is expressed, the stronger its attraction becomes. Over time, a life immersed in gratitude becomes a life of continuous expansion, in which the flow of wealth, opportunity, and blessing is constant. Challenges and obstacles are no longer sources of fear or limitation. They become opportunities to deepen the experience of gratitude, to recognize the unseen support and resources present, and to maintain alignment with abundance. This cumulative effect ensures that gratitude is not merely a fleeting emotion, but a sustainable, powerful force that actively multiplies prosperity. In every area of life, the flow of divine supply is the natural state of the universe, a continuous current of resources, opportunities, and abundance that moves effortlessly toward those who are aligned with it. Money, wealth, and material provision are not earned through struggle alone. They are attracted through alignment, awareness, and the conscious tuning of one's energy to the principles of prosperity. The universe operates according to laws that are precise, impartial, and unfailing, and the flow of divine supply is one of its most fundamental laws. When you understand and honor this flow, you are able to live in harmony with it, allowing abundance to move toward you naturally and effortlessly. Those who resist, doubt, or fail to recognize this flow find themselves struggling against the current, expending energy fruitlessly while opportunities pass them by. The first step in experiencing the flow of divine supply is awareness. Most people operate in a state of unconscious expectation, focusing on lack rather than availability, on limitation rather than possibility. To align with the flow of supply, one must cultivate the understanding that abundance is ever present, that resources are not finite, and that the universe is constantly ready to provide. This awareness is not intellectual alone. It is a deep, intuitive knowing that prosperity is the natural order of life and that nothing can truly prevent its movement toward you when you are in harmony with the law. Awareness allows you to recognize the unseen channels through which supply flows, to see opportunities that were previously invisible, and to act in alignment with them. Alignment is the second essential element in attracting divine supply. Alignment refers to the state in which your thoughts, words, emotions, and actions resonate with the principle of abundance. Every thought of doubt, every fearful word, and every negative expectation sends a signal that obstructs the natural flow of supply. Conversely, every thought, word, and feeling attuned to prosperity opens channels and acts as a magnet for resources. This is why the conscious use of wealth words, daily declarations, and gratitude are so critical. They maintain alignment, ensuring that your entire being is vibrating at the frequency of abundance. When alignment is maintained consistently, the universe responds as naturally as a river flowing downhill, moving in accordance with the path of least resistance to provide what is required. The flow of divine supply is effortless when resistance is removed. Resistance often manifests as worry, fear, doubt, or mistrust. Many individuals work hard, struggle, and attempt to force outcomes, believing that wealth must be wrested from life through effort alone. Yet struggle without alignment rarely produces lasting results. Effort in opposition to universal flow is like rowing upstream against a strong current. The energy expended is great, but progress is slow or non-existent. The practice of aligning oneself through positive speech, conscious expectation, and trust in the unseen ensures that effort is synchronized with natural movement rather than opposed to it. When resistance is removed, energy flows freely, opportunities are recognized and acted upon, and prosperity arrives in ways that feel almost effortless. Faith is a vital component of this alignment. To trust in the flow of divine supply is to believe in the unseen intelligence of the universe, that it is benevolent, responsive, and generous. Faith removes doubt, opens the mind to possibility, and strengthens the magnetism that draws wealth toward you. It is not blind faith. It is faith born of understanding, observation, and consistent practice. By speaking words of abundance, practicing gratitude, and holding thoughts of prosperity, faith is cultivated and reinforced. This faith allows you to act decisively when opportunities appear, to recognize resources that were previously overlooked, and to navigate challenges with confidence, knowing that supply will always be restored in accordance with your alignment. Daily practice maintains the momentum of the flow. Just as a river requires constant motion to prevent stagnation, the flow of divine supply requires ongoing conscious attention. Daily declarations, expressions of gratitude, visualization, and the mindful use of words act as mechanisms to keep your vibration in tune with abundance. This consistency ensures that supply does not fluctuate or become blocked by temporary doubts or negative influences. By repeating these practices daily, you create a continual current, a persistent stream of energy that attracts resources, opens doors, and maintains alignment with universal law. The flow of divine supply is also enhanced by generosity. The act of giving, whether it is time, energy, or material resources, reinforces the principle that abundance is not limited. Generosity communicates to the universe that you are aware of the infinite nature of supply, that you trust in its constant replenishment, and that you participate willingly in its circulation. When one gives freely and without fear, the energy of supply is magnified, and what is released returns multiplied. This principle is not merely symbolic, it is a vibrational truth. Giving in alignment with the flow demonstrates that you are not attached to scarcity, thereby attracting more of what you need and desire. Another dimension of the flow of divine supply is clarity of purpose. The universe moves to support aligned intention, and clarity of vision ensures that the resources you receive are appropriate and beneficial. Vague desires, half-formed intentions, or scattered focus diffuse energy and slow the movement of supply. By articulating clear goals, focusing on desired outcomes, and maintaining a mental image of prosperity, you provide a roadmap for the universe to deliver abundance. The flow responds to clarity, moving with precision toward the realization of aligned objectives. The flow of divine supply also encourages a state of receptivity. Many people unconsciously block abundance by remaining skeptical, hesitant, or unprepared to receive. Supply is drawn toward those who are ready, who recognize opportunities when they appear, and who act decisively upon them. Cultivating receptivity involves both inner readiness, a mindset attuned to prosperity, and external preparation, taking steps that allow opportunities to be seized. Daily alignment through speech, thought, and action ensures that you remain receptive, opening your life to the natural current of resources that constantly surrounds you. Timing is another important aspect. The universe operates in cycles, and the flow of supply is not always immediate or linear. Understanding and trusting in divine timing prevents frustration and maintains faith. Patience, when combined with consistent alignment, allows the natural unfolding of prosperity to occur. By speaking wealth words, practicing gratitude, and maintaining an attitude of trust daily, you sustain the flow even when visible results are delayed. The current continues to move, arranging circumstances, people, and opportunities so that supply arrives in optimal form and at the right moment. The flow of divine supply is comprehensive, affecting every area of life. It includes not only financial resources but also ideas, opportunities, relationships, and experiences. When one aligns with the flow, wealth is not limited to money alone, but manifests in ways that support holistic prosperity. Guidance, insight, and unexpected solutions become available. Doors that seemed closed are opened. Connections that were once unseen emerge. This multidimensional flow ensures that abundance supports growth, fulfillment, and expansion across all aspects of life. The flow is strengthened by conscious acknowledgement of the abundance already present. Recognizing and appreciating resources, successes, and blessings signals alignment and readiness for more. Gratitude, daily declarations, and mindful acknowledgement act as markers along the current, reinforcing your presence within the flow. This conscious participation ensures that abundance does not merely pass by unnoticed, but is actively drawn into your experience, amplified, and sustained. Ultimately, the flow of divine supply is a reflection of alignment, faith, clarity, and consistent practice. By maintaining focus on abundance, speaking wealth words daily, expressing gratitude, practicing generosity, and acting with clarity, you become a living conduit for this infinite current. Supply moves freely, effortlessly, and abundantly toward those who understand its principles, creating a life of prosperity, ease, and continual expansion.